Once upon a time, in a serene Zen monastery nestled amidst lush green mountains, there lived a revered master named Kanzan. Known for his deep wisdom and unusual teaching methods, Kanzan attracted many disciples who sought enlightenment. Among them was a young monk named Haruto, eager but often impatient, who desired to grasp the essence of Zen quickly. One day, Haruto approached Kanzan and said, "Master, I have studied the scriptures, practiced meditation, and observed the teachings of the Buddha. Yet, I feel far from enlightenment. Please guide me on what I must do." Kanzan gazed at Haruto and said, "Ah, Haruto, you are too full of your own effort. To truly learn, you must first let go of what you think you know. Here is a koan for you." "What is the sound of one hand clapping?" Confused yet intrigued, Haruto bowed and left to ponder the question. For weeks, he meditated on the koan, seeking an answer. He clapped one hand against a wall, shook it in the air, and even waved it near his ear. Frustrated, he returned to Kanzan. "Master, I have tried everything, but I cannot find the answer. Please tell me, what is the sound of one hand clapping?" Kanzan smiled and said, "Haruto, answers are not to be found by searching externally. The sound of one hand clapping is not a sound you can hear with your ears. It is the silence and emptiness that exists when you stop clinging to form and logic." Haruto felt no closer to enlightenment and decided to meditate deeply. He abandoned all attempts to solve the koan with reason and instead focused on stillness. Slowly, his thoughts quieted. Days turned into weeks, and Haruto began to feel a deep sense of peace. One evening, as he sat under a great oak tree, the breeze rustled its leaves, and the stars lit the vast sky. In that moment, Haruto suddenly understood. The sound of one hand clapping was not a sound at all, it was the profound silence that arose when one let go of dualities, comparisons, and judgments. Haruto returned to Kanzan the next morning. Without saying a word, he bowed deeply. Kanzan looked at him and smiled knowingly. "You have heard it," the master said. From that day forward, Haruto was no longer consumed by impatience or the need for answers. He lived with a quiet mind and an open heart, realizing that enlightenment is not something to achieve but a way of being in harmony with the present moment. And thus, the lesson of the sound of one hand clapping lived on, reminding all who heard it that true understanding arises not from grasping but from letting go.